The great white replacement is real. It's the process of annihilating the white race. Watch this highlight from a speech delivered in Hungary by 27-year-old Dutch lawyer Eva Vlaardingerbreek. We'll play you the full speech shortly. It's quite a bucket drop on the traitors who are racially destroying Europe.
So I'm going to draw the forbidden conclusion here. The Great Replacement theory is no longer a theory. It's reality. And what's interesting about replacement is that the establishment will either deny its existence, or when they admit to it, they say that it's a good thing that the native European population is soon no longer a majority on its own continent. Dutch national disgrace and dubbed climate pope Frans Timmermans already stated in 2015 that diversity is humanity's destiny and that Europe will be diverse. And of course, by now, I think we all know what they mean with the word diversity. It means less white people, less of you.
More and more Europeans are finally waking up and saying enough is enough. The tipping point is being reached, and what will follow will inevitably be brutal. Invasions always turn deadly. In response to white replacement in formerly homogeneous Christian nations, the sponsors and culprits behind the operation deny it's happening while simultaneously saying it's necessary, as you'll hear the notorious Jewess Barbara Specter state. Specter set up a Swedish government-funded NGO called Paideia to lobby for an open-border Europe to turn Europe black and brown.
Europe has not yet learned how to be multicultural, and I think we're going to be part of the throes of that transformation, which must take place. Europe is not going to be the monolithic societies that they once were in the last century. Jews are going to be at the center of that. It's a huge transformation for Europe to make. They are now going into a multicultural mode, and Jews will be resented because of our leading role. But without that leading role and without that transformation, Europe will not survive.
Can you believe the hubris of that Jewess? She's saying, agree to your racial annihilation or you won't survive. And yes, it's us Jews who are behind the clash of civilizations. This Jewish grinning crocodile is Jonathan Greenblatt from the Jewish attack dog organization, the Anti-Defamation League. The ADL was formed by B'nai B'rith in 1913 to defend the Jew Leo Frank, who raped and murdered 13-year-old Mary Fagan. He was found guilty and sentenced to death. Incredibly, the ADL says his conviction and death sentence was anti-Semitic. Go figure. And as for the Jewish-sounding B'nai B'rith, it translates to the sons of circumcision, which, when done as prescribed by the Talmud, involves rabbis biting off the foreskin of male babies and sucking on the blood. How ironic that B'nai B'rith created an organization that sucks on the blood of their host Gentile communities that devout Jews live in, but refuse to assimilate. Now listen to what Greenblatt says about white replacement. He gaslights, wanting us to believe it's all a conspiracy theory. Watch.
A writer named Renaud Camus wrote a book, and he called it The Great Replacement Theory. And it was this idea that a cabal of Jews are flooding France and Europe with immigrants from North Africa and the Middle East in order to extinguish the white race. The belief is that black people, Latino immigrants, particularly from Mexico, or Muslim people, are being imported into the U.S. to again change the demographics of the country in order to change the electorate and perpetrate this notion of white genocide.
An unrelenting stream of immigration, non-stop.
The Jews will not replace us. This is what they were talking about, this cabal of Jews working to replace them with black people or Muslim people or whatever toxic idea that they might have.
There you go. It's all in your mind, says the head bloodsucker, but not according to Joe Biden, who says white replacement is real after once sounding like Greenblatt and saying it didn't exist. Senile Joe can't make up his mind.
An unrelenting stream of immigration, non-stop. Folks like me who are Caucasian of European descent will be in an absolute minority in the United States of America. Absolute minority. Fewer than 50% of the people in America will be white European stock. That's not a bad thing. Through the media and politics, the internet, into falsely believing that they will be replaced, that's the word, replaced, by the other, by people who don't look like them. I and all of you reject the lie. I call on all Americans to reject the lie. Folks like me who are Caucasian of European descent will be in an absolute minority in the United States of America.
The great replacement theory, as you bring it up, he has tweeted a tweet he shared. Increasing illegals boost Dem voting power, causing them to recruit more. If Dems win President, House, and Senate, they'll grant citizenship to all illegals, and America will become a permanent one-party deep socialist state. Right? He has gone there directly. How much does he stand by these ideas?
Well, he didn't quite seem to understand that he did, originally he did that with Jewish people, sort of a great replacement theory thing that he did with Jewish people, and he got in trouble when he had to go to Auschwitz and answer questions and apologize and go with Ben Shapiro.
It's 3 o'clock in the morning, and I'm going to post this video on Twitter, and if you get to see it, you're lucky, because I'm probably going to delete it really fast, because it's really racist, but I want to get the shit out of my chest, because I can't take it no more. But I need white people to really start being white supremacists again. I need you guys to tap into that shit and do it again, please, because this country is out of control. I mean, goddamn, we got little kids thinking that they could be fucking females, and we got black people thinking they built America. This shit is crazy. And honestly, if you guys don't do anything about it, your whole generation is going to be completely, I mean, come on, no, you guys are getting killed off right now, and you guys, it seems like you guys are okay with it. Your women are getting raped, that's for sure, by Muslims and blacks. It's happening all the time. You see it. And nobody say anything, because you can't say nothing bad about a Muslim or a black man. Or you can let them rape. Go ahead, let them rape. But don't say anything about being racist. Don't say that, right? You guys need to stop it. White people used to be so strong. And you guys now are literally letting a word, racism. The word racism is killing your whole generation. It is. You're scared to be a racist. You better be a racist, because if you're not, this is going to kill you off. Basically, racism means the death of white people.
If you're white, then you suspect the black man.
Yeah.
If you're black, you suspect the white man. And they know that.
Yeah.
They know that. And they know that because the minute they can get that going, and between that black guy and that white guy, the Jew becomes invisible. Nobody sees the Jew anymore.
Anyone with eyes to see what's happening in the United Kingdom or any formerly white majority Western country can see with their own eyes that white replacement is happening. This statement from Elon Musk recognizes the white race is disappearing, and he blames the victim by saying whites aren't having children.
The problem with great replacement theory is that it fails to address the foundational issue of low birth rates. Record low birth rates are leading to population collapse in Europe and even faster population collapse in most of Asia. Immigration is low in Asia, so there is no replacement going on. The countries are simply shrinking away. If this doesn't turn around, then any countries on Earth with low birth rates will become empty of people and fall into ruin, like the remains we see of the many long-dead civilizations.
He's focusing on the effect and not the cause. Otherwise, he'd have to point the finger at his Jewish masters. After all, he's come out and stated that he's aspirationally Jewish. This is what Musk said on his X account in response to the Vladimir Brook speech you're about to see. Before we run Vladimir Brok's speech for you, you'll note that Vladimir Brok never mentions the Jews. Not once. She's like Italy's Prime Minister, Giorgia Meloni, who got elected on closing the door to invaders and promptly opened the doors wider by doing nothing once elected. In the first week of taking office, Meloni went to Israel. Meloni is controlled opposition. She has Jewish handlers, and Italians are very, very displeased. Eva Vladimir Brok certainly talks the talk, but her refusal to touch the Jewish question worried us, so we delved deep into her background. We found that on the 29th of March 2022, Will Witt, former commentator for the American conservative advocacy group PragerU, announced that he and Vladimir Brok had become engaged. The couple had been introduced by PragerU co-founder Dennis Prager about a year prior. Now watch Dennis Prager with his mask off telling us what we always suspected. Prager is a big shot amongst the 100 million strong evangelical Christian Zionists in America. He's about to boast that Jews are behind it all.
Every ism except Nazism was founded and or led disproportionately by Jews. You name it. Marxism, humanism, socialism, environmentalism, feminism, Jews. It's Jews.
We have to ask, what on earth is Eva Vlardingerbroek doing in the orbit of Dennis Prager and Jews when they're the masterminds of her grand white replacement? Surely she must know it's a Jewish project, as are all the other isms. Prager is an arch-Christian Zionist. He moves in the same circles as Zionist Ben Shapiro from the Daily Wire. The Mickey Mouse voice Shapiro, who seems like he's inhaled helium, is a close buddy with Benjamin Netanyahu, and he's captured Elon Musk for Jewish causes in Israel. You might recall Musk going to Israel to shed crocodile tears over October 7th, and then to Auschwitz wearing a Yumolka little Jewish hat and lighting candles to atone for giving the white replacement theory oxygen on his X platform. The ADL and the usual lineup of Jewish hyenas called Musk's remarks and white replacement as an anti-Semitic dog whistle and demanded Musk atone. Ben Shapiro dragged Musk to Israel and Auschwitz like a puppy dog. It was pitiful to watch one of the world's richest men grovel at the feet of the Jews. Now watch Eva Vlardingerbroek give a powerful and totally convincing speech. But no, there is a Jewish puppeteer with his hand in her back moving her lips. If Vlardingerbroek wants to redeem herself, cement her credentials, and be taken seriously, she has to name the Jews, name the mischief makers destroying Europe from the shadows to attain global supremacy. They care nothing about borders. The Jews are the internationalist New World Order globalists that Ford founder Henry Ford wrote about. He tried to warn us. Rest assured we'll be watching Eva Vlardingerbroek very closely to ensure she's not another Judas goat working for the Jews. Now listen to Eva, who looks great and sounds fantastic as an advocate for the white race, but she refused to name the Jews in this speech. Take it away, Eva. We're watching and hanging off your every word, for this is life and death for white Western civilization.